So Janet, we're going to do parts integration now. Tell me, do you have any internal conflict?
I do.
And what is that?
One part of me would like to go and live in Australia, and the other part of me doesn't want to go.
Okay, how's that a problem?
It means I can't quite settle down because I've still got this one part of me that would quite like to do it.
Okay, so it is a problem.
Yes.
Right. So, one part of you wants to go to Australia
Yes.
and work,
Yes.
and one part of you wants to stay in the UK.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is it that you believe about yourself that is causing you not to just make that decision? Either way.
I'm not sure.
Good. So, this part of you that wants to stay in the UK, for what purpose does it want to stay in the UK?
Because that's where my family is.
Okay. So, is that the problem?
Yes.
Is that all the problem?
Mainly because it's a long way away and very close to my family.
Okay.
Which would mean I didn't have the contact that I have with them now.
Okay, so that is the effect side of you moving to Australia.
Yes.
Okay, so we've talked around the conflict a little bit, and that seems to be quite a high level conflict for you, because it has significant effects in your life running off that. How would you like to resolve that conflict?
I would like to feel comfortable
Making the decision?
making a decision either way.
Okay.
For one,
That's fair enough.
once and for all.
Okay, so let's just get this conflict in your own words. What is the unwanted part?
Not being able to make the decision.
That wasn't part of the conflict, was it?
The unwanted part is...
Is it wanting to go to Australia or wanting to stay in the UK? Which is the unwanted part?
Wanting to stay in the UK.
That's the unwanted part,
Yes.
is it? So the unwanted part is, I want to stay in the UK.
Yes.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
And is the wanted part, could you just put that into your own language? What's the wanted part?
The wanted part is wanting to emigrate to Australia to work or to live.
Okay, it's really important we get this in your own language. So the unwanted part is, I want to stay and work in the UK.
Yes.
And the wanted part is, I want to emigrate and work in Australia.
Yes.
Emigrate and work in Australia. Okay. The questions I've asked you, I can see how that has become a problem. And obviously with any type of internal conflict, it will take a lot of your energy because you've got this argument going on inside you. Would you be happy, would your unconscious mind be happy in resolving this conflict today?
Yes.
Good, okay. Right, Janet, what I'd like you to do is to sit upright with your hands out in front of you, parallel. If you could do that for me, please. Okay, so we're just going to keep just the arms about like that. Notice the arms are parallel, and just relax. You may find that a little bit of a strange feeling there. That's fantastic. Janet, I would like you to invite the unwanted part, which is the part that wants to stay in the UK, to come and stand on either your left or your right hand. Which hand would it like to stand on?
Left.
Okay. Would it like to stand at the front middle or back of the hand?
Middle.
Okay. And who does that remind you of, Janet? Does it remind you of anyone you know?
Me.
And what are you wearing there?
I'm not quite sure.
If you didn't know,
No, but it's grey.
It's grey, yeah.
It's a grey suit.
Are there any sounds that are important to you in that image?
No.
Any feelings?
Just a feeling of dissatisfaction, not knowing.
Okay. Could you thank that part for coming out and standing on your left hand? And now I'd like you to invite the part of you, the wanted part, that wants to emigrate and work in Australia. Would it like to stand at the front, middle or back of the hand?
Middle.
And who does that remind you of, Janet?
That's me.
That's you. And what are you wearing?
It's colourful.
It is, isn't it?
And flowery.
Very flowery. Very flowery. Are you saying anything? Are there any sounds that are important to you?
I'm saying, come on.
Come on. And how about any feelings that are important to you in this?
Excitement.
Cool. I'd like you to just close your eyes and thank the wanted part for standing on your right hand. And close your eyes. Janet, I'd like to talk to the unwanted part, the part that wants to stay and work in the UK. For what purpose does it want to do that?
Because it's comfortable.
Comfortable, good. For what purpose comfortable?
Safety. Safe.
Okay. For what purpose safe?
Happiness.
Okay. What's the highest intention of happiness? For what purpose happiness?
Contentment.
And for what purpose contentment?
Calm.
Okay. So if you were comfortable, safe, happiness, content and calm, what would that give Janet?
Peace.
Peace. For what purpose peace, Janet?
Clarity.
For what purpose? What would clarity get Janet?
I'd know what I was doing.
Yeah, that's sort of the definition of clarity. So what will clarity get Janet? What would you gain from that? For what purpose clarity?
Direction.
Direction. For what purpose direction for Janet?
Goal.
And for what purpose? Goal.
Achievement.
Good. And for what purpose achievement? What would that give Janet?
Satisfaction.
Okay. So if you had comfortable, safe, happiness, contentment, calm, peace, clarity, direction, goal, achievement and satisfaction, what would all that get you, Janet?
Purpose.
Good. For what purpose? Purpose. Or what's the highest intention of purpose for Janet? If you had purpose, what would it get you?
Certainty.
And if you had certainty, what would that get, Janet? For what purpose, certainty?
Security.
Yeah, if you had comfortable, safe, happiness, contentment, calm, peace, clarity, direction, goal, achievement, satisfaction, purpose and certainty, what would that get you? What's the highest intention of all those things?
Wholeness.
Wholeness. You had wholeness, Janet, for what purpose? For what purpose for Janet? What would Janet get from that?
Not sure.
What's its highest intention? If you had comfortable, safe, happiness, contentment, calm, peace, clarity, direction, goal, achievement, satisfaction, purpose, certainty, security and wholeness, what would that get, Janet?
Well, happiness. I know.
Yeah, and if you, if you had all those things, what would you have? What would it be its highest intention? If you were comfortable, you were safe, you had happiness, contentment, calm, peace, clarity, direction, you had goal, you had achievement, satisfaction, purpose, certainty, security and wholeness in your life, what would that get you?
Complete.
Completeness. Whoa. You may have noticed your left hand move towards your right hand there. You didn't do that consciously, did you?
Mm.
Janet, I'd like to talk to the wanted part, the part that wants to emigrate and work in Australia. For what purpose does it want to do that? For what purpose for Janet?
A better quality of living.
And what would that get, Janet?
Happiness.
Okay. Happiness for what purpose?
Satisfaction.
And for what purpose? What would that get, Janet?
Contentment.
For what purpose?
Clarity.
For what purpose? What's his highest intention?
Direction.
Yeah, for what purpose? What's the highest intention of that part? If it had direction, what would that get, Janet?
A goal.
For what purpose?
Achievement.
For what purpose, achievement? What's its highest intention, Janet? For you?
Be complete.
Completeness. Wow. You may have noticed, Janet, that your right hand has now moved towards your left hand. You didn't do that consciously, did you?
No.
Janet, I'd like to draw to your attention that both parts have the same highest intention of completeness. And as your hands start to move together, I want each part to look over at the other part and notice the resources that the other part has. And start to think about the opportunities to work together in synergy and harmony to achieve Janet's highest intention of completeness. And as they notice these resources, perhaps they can also notice that in the past they worked in conflict, and now they can work in synergy to achieve that highest intention of completeness. And I'd like also to draw to their attention that they were once whole, and through the process of integration they can become whole again. So as the hands continue to move together, let each part notice that they have the same, both have the same highest intention of completeness. And now they are beginning to notice the resources that the other parts have. And they're beginning to notice the possibilities and opportunities of pooling those resources and working together in harmony and synergy to achieve Janet's highest intention of completeness, which is a nice highest intention. And as the hands are now have moved right together, the parts are now sharing those resources. And you may feel the need to bring those parts inside and allow that integration to totally complete at the unconscious level. And just bring those parts right inside and allow that to complete totally and utterly at the unconscious level. That's right. Good. You can come back into the room now. That was a big one. It's very good. How was that for you, Janet?
Yeah, it's fine.
So, Janet, what was your old conflict?
I couldn't decide whether I wanted to work in Australia or in the UK.
Okay. So, how do you feel about that old conflict now?
Not quite sure.
Fantastic. Is it an issue? Whatever you decide, you'll be able to decide with clarity and easily from now on.
Yeah. No.
You may find that you'll have a lot more energy because you won't be arguing with yourself, and whatever you decide will be fine.
Yeah.
Do you feel better about that, making that decision now?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a conflict. It just feels like a decision I've got to make.
That's exactly where you need to be. Thank you, Janet.